Today is November 21st, 2024, and a lot has changed in a year. A year ago tomorrow, November 22nd, I walked into this bathroom sick as a dog and was late and was like, I might as well take a test and see what's going on because I'm going to Disney World in a couple weeks and I just want to see what's going on. Never did I expect to see two faint blue lines on that test, and turns out I was literally like 3.5 weeks pregnant at that point. And almost 4 months ago, I was standing in the same exact spot on the day of my induction, and it's so crazy. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's so crazy how different our life is now. A year ago, I didn't even know what my life would be like, and I stand in the same spot today, a changed person, a mother to the most beautiful baby girl, and I'm just so thankful. So today's video is all about faith, family, friends, and our beautiful little Ellie Jean and my journey to motherhood, basically. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, about how my faith led me here and how it continues to carry me through those tough days, the good days, and the fact that God's timing is so perfect. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's going to be a long and emotional roller coaster, but I'm here for it and I want to tell my story. So I hope you enjoy. Change of scenery. I wanted to move in here, so I'm far away from Ellie while she's taking her nap. I don't want to disturb her. We are just beginning 4-month sleep regression. She's about to be 4 months in like 2 days, so I'm gearing myself up for that. Our naps are suffering. Our nighttime sleeps are not suffering too much, but naps are definitely suffering, so as much silence as I can give her, the better. But yes, it's been a year. It's been a year since I found out I was pregnant, and a lot of you may know that I struggled with infertility for many, many years. Just a few years shy of a decade, we were trying for baby, and not this past summer, obviously, because we just had Ellie. The summer before that, I finally came to terms with being okay if that wasn't in God's plan for us. And, you know, I carried the infertility burden around with me for so long, where it was just crushing, emotionally, mentally, physically, pretty much in any way, shape, or form. It really crushed me, and I allowed it to define who I was, and define my happiness. And I finally prayed about it, and I just said, like, God, this is a lot for me to carry on my own, and I'm finally ready to lay it at your feet. I'm kind of accepting the fact that if it's not in your plan, then I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with the way our life is going. And if having a child is not in your plan for us, then by all means, I'm going to accept it and be happy. I immediately felt this just like weight lift off of my shoulders, and I didn't let that define me anymore. I had a bunch of health scares and everything, and obviously the end goal was to get pregnant. So, you know, my doctors were like, if you don't get this under control, my diabetes, if you don't get this diabetes under control, then like you won't have a healthy pregnancy. You just won't, and it will be detrimental to you. It'll be detrimental to baby. So we really need to basically get your butt in gear and take care of yourself if that's something that you're really wanting to do. And I was diagnosed with PCOS like years before that, so I already had a lot of things working against me, but my PCOS was so out of control that it turned into full-blown diabetes that I was diagnosed with in July of 2021. And at that point, it was kind of a wake-up call. I shouldn't even say kind of, it was a severe wake-up call because my A1C was over 9, and my doctor was basically like, you are going to die if you don't take this serious and, switch up your entire lifestyle. I was basically a ticking time bomb. I could have had a stroke, a heart attack, basically you name it. And that shook me to my core, and I decided to just take control of my life and my health and really dedicate my life to getting healthy. I changed up my entire diet. I took all of the medication that they prescribed me and started becoming more active, going to the gym, roller skating, walking, just anything to get me moving. Before getting pregnant, I ended up losing 80 pounds just from willpower and being active and changing my whole entire lifestyle. So, summer of 2023 is really when I was like in my prime of working out and doing all of that stuff, and basically summer into fall. And that is when I kind of released control and said, God, it's in your hands now. When people say, try not to worry about it, try not to stress about it, don't put so much pressure on yourself, it sounds really harsh when you're in the midst of infertility. But let me tell you, as soon as I took that pressure off of myself, everything kind of fell into place. And obviously that's not going to work for everybody. Like, I know that, sometimes there's medical intervention that needs to be made and all of this stuff. Like, I'm not saying if you're struggling with infertility, I'm not saying, oh, just don't worry about it, it'll be fine. Take control of your health, be an advocate for yourself and your health with your doctor, and really get to the root of it. If there is anything out of your control, then obviously seek medical help. But if it is in your control where you just need to drop weight and eat healthy and get healthy, same thing goes for your husband. Make sure that they're also healthy and in shape and doing those things with you to support you, but also to support themselves. Because I really truly believe that once Kyle started like really working out and getting his body in shape too, that changed a lot of things for us too. But yeah, so I did all of the work and basically was surprised by that test. So after I was diagnosed with diabetes, I really took 2021 to the rest of 2021 to really get my health into gear and get the diabetes under control. 2022 rolls around and I met with my endocrinologist, and she was super happy with the way everything was going. And basically I went from a 9, A1C of a 9 to like a 6, which was obviously awesome, great progress. And she said that at that point, if I wanted to go ahead and start actively trying for baby again, that I would be healthy enough to do it as long as I still continue to take my meds and live this new lifestyle. And so I did. And, every month would be hoping and praying for a positive pregnancy test, but it never came. And I basically gave myself a good 6 months after that, until I reached out to my OB's office and said, like, I really want to talk to somebody on like how they can help me to get pregnant, basically. And January of 2023, I met with my new OB, and she basically did all the tests. I had an ultrasound, I had all the tests, basically, you name it, I took it. After the consultation and after all of my stuff came back, I had a follow-up with her, and she basically told me that everything looks great, that my lifestyle change has really like switched up everything, and she's really happy with the progress that I'm making. And she said that if I just continue to do what I am doing now, then she was like, I don't foresee you having any problems getting pregnant naturally and on your own. And she said, and if you don't by the end of the year, then maybe, get your husband tested. But as far as what I'm looking at now, you should be able to get pregnant by the end of the year. And she said, in fact, I would be shocked if I didn't see you in here before the end of the year is over. And I'm like, okay, that gave me a lot of hope and a lot of answers. And of course, I'm just praying about it. And, here comes the summertime where nothing was really happening. And I just released control and didn't let us not having a baby at that point define who we are anymore. Obviously, I still prayed about it every night. I just wanted to be a mom so bad, and I was ready for it to happen whenever it was meant to happen. So remember how I talked about God's perfect timing? Well, that's where this comes in. So November 3rd, 2023, so last year, we were celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I come across this post that was basically talking about infertility, and it had this beautiful artwork with Jesus' hands basically holding like a uterus. It sounds weird, but I'll pop it here so you can see it, and you can see when I took a screenshot of it. And it basically said, like, if you have infertility issues, you have X, Y, and Z. The only difference is, like, I have God, and God is what's getting me through this, and my faith is not faltering. So I took a screenshot of it because I was like, oh, this is so perfect. Like, I think this is beautiful. This is exactly how I feel at the moment. If you do the math, I'll let you do the math. But yeah, I was about 3.5 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant on November 22nd. So that perfect timing is crazy. And the day that I was induced as well was July 22nd. And July 22nd was, a couple years prior, was the day that my Opa passed away. So it took something earth-shattering and sad for me and turned it into the beautiful start of my beginning of motherhood. The only thing I can't explain is the fact that God knows what he's doing, and he has a plan, and that just solidified it for me. Some may think me talking that way is kind of shocking, because for a lot of my teenage years into my early adulthood, I was an atheist. I was very vocal about how I felt about God and the fact that I didn't think that there was anything after this life. I am here to tell you that I was ignorant. There was a point in my life around 2016 where I was feeling crushed by all of these feelings of infertility and death and sickness, and literally I felt like the four walls were closing in on me, and I felt like I was nothing. My depression, my anxiety, my world was crumbling down, basically. And I had a close brush with death. God's divine intervention came in, and I finally opened my eyes to it and saw what I was missing. And the only thing that could bring me to that point is having a near-death experience. And it sounds so crazy for me to say that, because, like, the thing about it was that I was going to get into a car, but something stopped me from getting into my car. And had I been in my car, I probably would have gotten severely injured or even died. Like, I don't know, but it just made my world turn upside down, and along with everything else going on. And one day I was taking a shower, and that's where I do all of my crazy thinking, and I started to spiral. And this was after that whole incident happened, and all I could do to help whatever it was, the turmoil, the tornado, whatever was happening inside of me, I literally was in the shower, I fell to my knees, and all I said was, God, if you're there, I need you to help me. I need you to pick me off the floor. I know I've been denying you, but there's something that's pulling and tugging at me, and I need you. I need you if you're there. Like, if you're listening, please help me. And I was crying and crying and crying, and then all of a sudden I just felt this like wave of peace over me. And it sounds so crazy for me to even say that, but like, I really did. I really felt this just wave of peace. And of course that made me cry in a good way. And I'm like, I need to know more about this. I need to learn more about this. I need to pray about this. Obviously, prayer works, and the only way that I'm going to get answers, I feel, is if I pray about it. And that led me, after years of praying and reflecting and research, it led me to the Catholic Church. I went through all the RCIA process, so Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults, and I'm glad for that, because here I came from basically no foundation of faith, no faith background whatsoever, no knowledge of anything. And this took me through a year, almost a year and a half of studying. And it's not even like studying how to become Catholic. It's literally studying the Bible and Jesus and salvation and all of that stuff. And so had I not gone through that, I feel, and just got baptized or something, I feel like there would have been a part of me that's missing. I went in fully in 2019 into Easter Vigil, fully firm in my faith. And obviously I still have so much to learn. Everybody does. I still have so much to learn and read and grow in my faith. But at that point, I was just, and still am, certain that this is my home. This is where I'm supposed to be, in the Catholic Church. And, you know, receiving all of my sacraments and everything, Easter Vigil 2019 has really carried me through this whole journey. And now it's fully a part of who I am and what I believe. You know, I can't wait to share that faith with Ellie. Like, I was Jesus's lost sheep, you know? He's always going to go after the sheep that's lost. And I definitely was that sheep. And he has to corral me every once in a while, for sure. But I'm here to tell you that I really pray that others find Jesus' peace just like I did. Guess who's awake? Good morning. Look at you lifting up your head. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Gonna get dressed. Have a baba. Let's do this, Bell. Yeah, we made it. 4 months postpartum. It's actually crazy how much your mind changes once becoming a mother, how much your body changes. Just everything changes. Your life is completely different. And honestly, I could not have, and still could not go through this season of tremendous change without my tribe, my family and friends. Even most of them are 1,500 miles away, and still every day seem to pick me up off the floor when I am having a bad day and know how to support me even when they are far away. And, you know, it all stems from, like, my mom coming into town a couple weeks before she was born. before Ellie was born, and helping around the house, and her help was really amazing. And just having her and my dad and my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew come into town and stay with us, and especially after Ellie was born and I was having these horrible headaches from my botched epidural. I could not have gotten through that time without them, and obviously without Kyle too. He was a huge help, never complained, just bared down and did the work because that's all we could do. That's all you can do in those moments. Newborn life is hard, especially in the first, few weeks, because you're just trying to like figure each other out. And now we kind of got each other figured out, and it's a lot easier. I feel like I do have the ability to kind of roll with the punches a little bit better, whereas before I was like so out of control, which was making me spiral. Now I know that there's really nothing I can control. So I'm just going with the flow and seeing how everything goes. Like Kyle's family has been wonderful too. They've, watched her a couple times so we could go out and celebrate our anniversary or go out for dinner and still prioritize our marriage and our relationship, because it's really easy to kind of get complacent and it's easy to start living as roommates, and I don't want that to happen with us. So really prioritizing like alone time together and nurturing our marriage as husband and wife, and also nurturing our relationship as mom and dad too, is really important, and it keeps everything really healthy, and the line of communication is constantly open. Without my family and my friends and Kyle, like I couldn't do this alone, and I sympathize with all like single mothers out there who really do this by themselves. It does take a huge village, and I'm grateful for my village and grateful for this little one too for making me a mom. One thing that I was not prepared for when becoming a mom is how isolating sometimes it could be, and that's why I'm so thankful that I have the tribe that I have, because if it wasn't for them, like I would just feel so lonely all the time, because it's just a lot of mental load that you have to carry. And like for those that aren't moms, they can probably empathize, but they don't really know. Like for me, it's like I had no idea what it was like until I'm in it. I'm in the trenches, and then I reflect and say, man, I was such a crappy friend or a crappy sister-in-law or crappy cousin, because I didn't know really what they were going through in the trenches until I was there. And then I finally was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I was not there for you. Like, you are being there for me. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for ruining my shot with your tail. You don't really know what your friends need until you're in it. Very, very grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for my best friend for adding me into this group chat with other mom friends, and not feeling so alone in my feelings is a great thing, because it really is isolating and you do feel like you're on a different planet, and knowing that other people are on that planet with you, maybe in some of the same ways, but some of them are a little bit different, and we could all learn from each other and all learn from each other's experiences. I'm grateful with how I'm feeling right now at 4 months postpartum. Things that I'm struggling with, obviously, like before, like I had lost like 80 pounds. I had gained about 60 in pregnancy, and I've since lost 40 pounds. So I have like 20 more pounds left to go to get to where I started. And so that's been a little bit of a struggle, just because like my body is completely changed and I just don't feel comfortable in my own skin. But I also like look in the mirror and I see Ellie in myself, and it makes me feel beautiful, because I think she's literally the most beautiful baby there ever is. Seeing Ellie in myself when I am down makes me feel better about myself, if that makes sense. I don't know. And whenever I am down and I hear these little cute little giggles or whatever, like they just warm my little heart, and her smile just melts me. So I'm very grateful for her. It's just a lot of change with the heart, a lot of change of the mind, especially when it comes to your heart and your mind. Protect it at all costs. You don't have time for people pleasing anymore. So if what the heck just happened? Every time I try to get like really deep, Marilyn just like jumps into my shot and makes it weird. But there's no time for people pleasing anymore when you're a mom, and you really just have to protect yourself, your little family, and of course your kid. If there are things that are going to get in the way of the foundation you want to build for your kid, like remove yourself and your kids from those situations, because it's not worth it. What's happening over there? She's just doing crunches. What's happening? Are you saying, Mama, it's time to stop talking? All right. Well, with that, we made it 4 months and 1 year after finding out I was pregnant with you, Ellie. So I am very blessed to be this one's mom. I'm thankful to God every single day for basically trusting me to take care of this little girl and bringing this little girl down to us, because she definitely was our little missing puzzle piece. So I will leave you to it. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.